Wait, what noise did you just make? What did you just drop? What did you just drop?
That
I'm
was
like
that was
about to welcome, and Jahmai's dropping things already. What's going on? What'd you just drop?
that was my sucker. The wrapper. That's all. I'm eating this green apple. This is life on the road for me. Very much making healthy choices at all times. And I was like, came home and I was like, you know what? I got this big blow pop that I got from Home Depot the other day because they sell these big gourmet ones. So
Yep.
I picked this up and I was like, it feels like this is the time to enjoy this. It's been a very long day for me, but here we are. Happy to be with you, my friend.
That one, by the way, episode I think 5. I think we're at 5, maybe 6, maybe 4 of extra time. Welcome, Adam's PTO. Adam's got an off day. He's
Where
doing
is Adam?
a fundraiser for his kids. He's doing a fundraiser for his daughter's soccer team
Oh, that's right.
tomorrow. Anyway, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. He's off. He gets to be off. That guy works hard. Red Sox and Bruins. So it's you and I today.
It
Show that
must be
sucker again.
nice.
I
I don't
was
know what that's
crushing
like.
this apple.
So this is
But
green
see, you
apple.
can have that. Oh,
Meanwhile,
that's a
you have
green
an actual
apple.
apple. Yeah, this is a green apple.
I have an actual apple. Cheers.
Meanwhile, you have a real apple. Cheers. There we go.
I was gonna eat this while I was on the show, but the crunching is really annoying for our poor producers in the mic, so I'm not gonna do that. But you can have that sucker while we're on the show. I already have so many questions for you based on that one sentence. Why were you at Home Depot? What were you doing? I know you just moved. You're doing home renos. What were you doing over there?
Yeah, exactly. I just moved to the great South Shore, the town of Braintree. Love it over here. Certainly didn't know that I'd be a suburbs guy, but being a city slicker all my life. But this has transformed me
Yeah.
into that. So I got a lot to accomplish, and the things that you don't understand when you own a home and like more money, more problems. I think the great
Yeah.
poet Notorious B.I.G. said. So I had to buy a rake, a ladder. I had to do some gardening, some landscaping, and that's what I was there doing. And then I'm also looking for, by the way, sneaky expensive uh,
Home
lawn
Depot.
furniture. No, furniture
Oh,
for like your
yes.
deck and stuff like that. So feel free to give me a housewarming gift. Would certainly appreciate that, Soph. You you got
Okay.
all those big Bruins bucks, so hook me up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Do we want to talk? Do we want to talk big bucks right now? We want to get into that. I don't know
I
what you mean when
mean,
you say big bucks.
oh man, see, I don't want to put you out there like that, but if you want to go there, I certainly am happy to.
Oh man, I have a story that I want to share so badly right now, but I'm questioning if I should. I don't want to give our producers extra work in case you have to cut it out. How about this? I
Okay,
won't
well,
share it, but
give
it's
the cliff
relevant.
notes. Give me the cliff
Well,
notes. I'm curious about it.
remember when I got an email that I wasn't supposed to get?
Oh
Do you
yeah, no,
remember?
we can't talk about that. No way,
Okay.
no way, no
Oh
chance.
man. Well, you just mentioned big bucks, so I was thinking about that.
They might try to recall
Yeah,
that. Still try to recall that email. I
yeah.
guess
It's in my
we can't keep our live studio audience in the dark completely. We'll just say that she got an email that showed some figures about some people and some things, and it
yeah.
necessarily wasn't for her, but
It
she
definitely
opened it.
wasn't for
Yeah, exactly.
me.
We'll leave it at that, and
There's a
it
lot
basically proves my point.
yeah. A lot of power in my hands. I got scared and I deleted it, much to your disappointment. You were like,
Yeah,
"Yo, you
I
got
was.
to print copies."
Yeah, exactly. I would
I
have
was
posted
like,
those all over the building. I mean, hey, what are we doing?
"Oh,
It's like, hey,
oh man,
what industry right now is doing that? It's slipping my mind, but they want to have fair wages and it wants to be completely transparent. And in TV, we should certainly do that. Like, let's
I
lay
didn't
it
know
out there.
that.
I
I
forget.
didn't know
I
that there
can't
was
think
an."
of it right now. Yeah, there's like
Well,
complete
anyway,
transparency. Like if you go on LinkedIn right now, you try to look for a job. Like people have to post a salary range. It's like a law or something. But it'd be good to know. Had I
they'll
known
say,
that you were bringing in that kind of money, I would have,
yeah,
had a
right.
much harder negotiation when I went to the table. So,
How
you
about this?
deleted it.
Had I known when I was like 16 that it's not big bucks in TV, you know what, I still would have done it, but I would have had a lot of an easier ride, a lot more realistic expectations had I known
Yeah.
this wasn't going to be cha-ching, you know?
Well, you do it for the love. You do it for the passion. We've seen that certainly from you throughout the Bruins season, and you're bringing it here to us tonight. So that's
Well, as
that's
usual,
That
No,
is,
sorry, I cut you
you
off.
can't quantify that.
No, you can't quantify the love. I was going to say, as usual, I'm going to be all over the place. I'm not going to get to our topics right away because I have a couple more follow-up questions for your Home Depot stuff. But I want to tell the audience what we're going to be talking about. It's really kind
Okay.
of the Jahmai show today. We're going to be talking about you almost getting hit by a baseball. And then we're going to get into kind of like the behind the scenes of maybe dangers at the ballpark or any hockey run-ins because that puck travels fast. I have a story for you guys. And then you eating a massive cookie. And we might compare notes for like good food around stadiums and leagues and stuff like that. But before we get into that, and then maybe we'll talk about other jobs in sports that we would do now that we kind of like know people, PR, trainers, coaches, what else would be appealing. But quick, outdoor furniture, Facebook Marketplace, just so you know. I know used doesn't seem good, but it's like wear and tear. I got so many good used things on Facebook Marketplace. Wear and tear. I feel weird with like used couches, like anything with like fabric.
I'm
But when
actually
you're
okay
talking
with
about
used couch. It's
what?
a used mattress would make me very suspicious. A used couch is like,
Are you
because
okay
I
with
mean,
it?
do you go to your friend's house and not sit on the couch? I mean, you know how many butts have been in those seats? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
you hope that people, treat it how you would treat your furniture. But I mean, I'm not sleeping on the couch, and definitely if it's used, I'm not sleeping on it. But will I sit on it? Yes, I'll sit on the couch.
wait a minute.
So
Joanna's never made you sleep on the couch. You've never been in trouble.
I mean, what we gotta go there? We gotta go there right now. Of course, I slept on the couch. You know me. I've done some things. I've been in the doghouse, but I'm not proud of it. But I'm not too proud to say I'm a couch sleeper from time to time. I think this is why we just men and women are different, and a lot of times we disagree on things. So usually she wins out when it's an argument. I'm the one that has to leave the room, unfortunately. But yeah, I slept on my couch, but that was my couch. That was brand new. And I mean, there's been other people to sit on the couch, but nobody has lived on the couch, I guess. And, I've fallen asleep on the couch from time to time. But yeah, I'm okay with a used couch. A used mattress is something I don't think I do. Because, mattresses.
Mattresses do that. Even if you put a mattress cover on it, no. You never know. Like bed bugs.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about a few other things, but yeah, bed bugs, you got to watch out for those. And I know this is a family show, so I'm not going to go too intense, which with some of the trappings that you can run into on there. But then again, we stay at hotels all the time, actually. You don't really know what they do to these. I mean, it is 4 and 5 star accommodations, but how often do you think they clean the mattress and you sleep on it so soundly, right? Like you never really second guess that.
I never thought of that. I never thought of the fact that I'm sleeping on a bed that thousands of people have slept on.
Thousands.
Ooh. Thousands. I never really ruined the road for me. I get weirded out on hotel couches. Like I don't like touching a hotel like Shays Lounge or whatever. I'm like, no. I don't like that. That's you can't wash the sheets there,
That's true. I mean, I've lounged on a few couches in my time, but like I feel like these are great places to stay. So I just think that the reputation speaks for the quality of furniture that we're sitting on. And it's just one of those things where I guess I got trust in the franchises of hotels that we stay.
I think we should put out a survey of some sort. I don't know if we can, but maybe we can do it on our own Instagram, maybe NESN. But we got to do a hot take. Used couch, yes or no? Used mattress. I think used mattress is going to be an
used
automatic.
Used couch or used mattress. That's used it. Let's go to Instagram Live after this. Post show Instagram Live. Let's do it.
We'll post it because I think used couch is weird unless it's from your aunt or someone or it has slip covers that you can wash.
Your aunt,
like whatever, like a grandma or like someone in your family that or your buddy or whatever. Your aunt. Oh, Canadian. Do you think I'm saying it like a Canadian?
Yeah,
aunt?
You said it like a Canadian ant. Your aunt is an insect, but your aunt.
Yeah, no, your aunt. Your aunt.
That could be your mother or your father's sister.
I would say unless it has slip covers. But back to the original point, Facebook Marketplace really. Okay. Now you're gonna have trouble because it's peak summer. But by September, the amount of people that sell patio furniture, like wood or plastic or metal, it's so easy to clean, and you get basically, I feel like brand new things for half the price. So look on
Okay,
Facebook
I'm gonna dive into
Marketplace.
that. I'm gonna dive into that. Thank you for the recommendation, and
Okay.
hopefully I can find a deal. We'll see.
Last point before we get into what we want to get into. Your studio setup looks sick. Like that red
Yeah.
mic. You did not. I remember we recorded episode 1 of Extra Time. You were in over your head, and like, not to blame you because you had just moved. You had so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
Red Sox was just kind of getting started. You set it up nicely. Like, maybe you don't want to tilt the camera, but what's your basement look like now? Less
I
boxes? Less
mean,
boxes.
well, I mean, this is I'm in the corner of my basement, so this is a white wall behind me, and this bookshelf is actually going to be dismantled here shortly. I'm gonna hit up IKEA, buy something dope,
Okay.
something more, I guess, appropriate. This one was just
Yeah.
like, I think I found this outside actually. And we're talking about used furniture. I think I actually found this on the side of the road and picked it up, brought it into the house because I'm like, hey, I
I
can
love
use that.
it. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I love it.
I got I told this story about that's a Mac Dre, a famous Bay
Yeah.
Area rapper. It's a little brew that I got from my guy in Oakland at the O.co, the Coliseum.
Okay.
So I thought it was super cool because I like Mac Dre, I like his music, and I didn't want to open it and ruin it. Plus, it's probably very flat. I'm not a beer drinker anyway, so it's more of a momentum for me. But as the show goes on, I'm going to make sure that I have some more things over here. I'm going to add a few Emmys, add some my Roberto Clemente picture. I got some other art. I got some cool stuff. I mean, I'm gonna get it together eventually. I'm trying to
So,
think what else I got over here.
to add a few Emmys, Jahmai, you got to win a few Emmys first.
I got 2. What do you mean? Come on, respect my game, please. And I'm nominated for another one. I think I was, I was the bridesmaid for a long time. I think I have like 12 nominations, only 2 trophies to show for it. I got another nomination this past year for the Red Sox, our Red Sox coverage. The game that we did on the Green Monster last year with
Yep.
OB, Duke, Tim Wakefield was a part of that broadcast. So it was very special that we did. And it's, I think later this month, actually, we're going to be back on the Green Monster. So that's going to be cool to get out there. But that was the broadcast that we submitted for recognition and we got nominated. So we're probably
That's awesome.
finding out, I think in a couple weeks, if we
June
won.
10th
So
or 13th or something.
yeah. So
That's
so
cool.
yeah, like a couple weeks exactly. So we'll figure it out, and hopefully I can add another trophy to the case. How many Emmys do you have?
Just one.
Oh,
I got one.
look at you hating on me, and here I am. I got you doubled up right now.
You do. Yeah, but you're a little longer in this New England market. You've been a little longer than me, but no, best of luck.
How many?
Obviously,
You've been here like 5-6 years now, right?
5 years.
Okay, so 5, and I'm in the midst of year 8, so I got 3 years on you. But I mean, I've actually only been full time on the Red Sox for 4 years, so technically you got more time than I do because I was like our man Adam, and I like was a Swiss Army knife hosting news, filling in on Red Sox, covering the Patriots, Celtics, everybody, and now I'm just specialized into baseball. I'm on the baseball beat, so you've got a little bit more specialty in me and our pro product that we put a lot of resources into. So listen, I'm beating you right now. I feel like I'm beating you.
Well, if you don't win this year and I win this year, we'll be tied because I too am nominated.
Are you nominated?
So
yeah,
I'm nominated.
okay.
I don't even know what category. I think reporter, which means I think I'd be going up against you. Is that true?
If the Bruins did get a nomination, we would be kind of battling against ourselves. So I have to go look at the nominations now since you don't know what you're nominated for in your Emmy
I
nomination.
really don't. I think it's reporter. I don't put it in. I don't submit it myself. It's not like I mailed
but I mean, you should know, like, hey, somebody said, hey, Sophia, I'm submitting this, by the way, just so you know, and you should have known at that point, what it was nominated for. When the nominations came out, I checked online.
You did? Okay, well, give me the link. I got to look. I'm missing it this year. I've never. So when I started in Boston, September 2019, obviously like new to the city, didn't know anything, was learning the Bruins job, crazy. Then COVID happened. And even though at least in Boston and at least in the United States compared to Canada, like the regulations were lifted earlier, but things just weren't the same. So the award shows were canceled. I've always wanted to go. This year I could finally go technically because I'm not but I'm not here. I'm going to be in Toronto visiting my folks, and that's obviously very important to me. But I'm so bummed out. Like I would just love to go to the show. Have you
So
ever been to an award ceremony?
I have. I've been to one, and that was the year I won my first. And my first one
Oh, nice.
actually was my first one was actually for being the host of NESN Clubhouse, which is our kids show about baseball. So I was actually very, very excited to not only be nominated for that. I think it was my first nomination of many that year, but to not only be nominated but to win it was very special because we had a great group, great kid host, and we would record that. This is back in the day where it used to be Yawkey Way, where Jersey Street has now been renamed, and we used to have, before we had our studio set out there in left center field or right center field, at Fenway Park, we used to host the shows, the studio pre and post game shows, as well as NESN Clubhouse on Yawkey Way on the street. So we'd have the crowds and the people back there, and all the kids would come. We'd have like a little league or a softball team to take part in our live studio audience. So I did that for a couple of years before we finally won one, and it was just really special because I've been chasing that my entire career, coming up short, not being nominated, feeling like I had so much great material that I figured would at least get a nomination, and it never happened for me.
Yeah.
So to be able to win that was special. That was in
Yeah.
2018. Yeah. So first one was for a Emmy nominated host, and then my second one was for a reporter on Red Sox baseball in 21, which was a great year for the Red Sox. I mean, we talk about it all the time. They ended up just 2 games shy of the World Series that year, and a team that nobody expected to do anything really, coming off of the year that they had, the COVID year where they lost, 60-game season, but they only won 24 games. So it was something like 24 and 36, whatever their schedule. It might have been worse than that, actually. I can't even remember. Because that was one year I wasn't necessarily involved in the telecast because we were doing remote shows, which is a whole nother story. But that
Yeah.
innovation, that technology has us to where we are here today, being able to do this podcast remotely. So I'll take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. That's how I approach life.
No, 100%. COVID changed so much of what we could do remotely versus not, in a good way, maybe even in a bad way, but whatever. We're here, and it is nice to be able to like connect this way, do this. I'll be doing it from home in Toronto in a couple of weeks, like I said, so I can visit home, which is
So how
awesome.
long? Wait, when do you leave? Actually,
Tomorrow.
oh, I wonder will you still be there when we're there? When the
Wait,
Red
when are
Sox
you
come
guys
to town?
there? When are
I
you in town?
leave.
When are you guys going to be there?
I leave June 16th. They have a Sunday night baseball game, so I'll be going in a little early because why get in at 3 o'clock in the morning if I can avoid it? And we play June
Yeah.
17th, 18th, and 19th, 3-game series, and then we're on to Cincinnati after that. So
Okay, wait. I was going to drive home the 17th. We'll
you
talk
should wait.
offline. We'll talk
Yeah,
offline.
yeah. Let's
I
make
was
those
gonna
plans
drive
for you to
home the
wait.
17th. People are like, they're like, okay, make your plans later, people. I was
Yeah.
going to drive home the 17th. We'll talk about it after. But there's a good reason. But maybe we can make something work. I'll still be in there on the 16th. But
I
we'll
hope so.
talk. Yeah.
Zosha,
No, it would be cool.
I want to see the fam.
The fam, my mom. Okay, so people listening, Jahmai and I used to work together on the show called After Hours. That's how we got to know each other. And it was during COVID. And so it was like very limited people in the office. And it was basically him and I, a couple of a producer, and then people who had to run the show, director, switcher, and camera. And so, out of like 200 people in the office, normally there were like 8 of us, and we were all separated. But Jahmai, obviously, because there was no one else to talk to, we really got close, and we would chat a lot about like,
Wow.
what,
I gotta
like,
stop
what
you. I gotta stop you right
advice-
there. You said
Wait.
Jahmai because it was no one else to talk to. Like that's how you look at our time together, as if I'm just some chopped liver. Like there was nobody else,
No.
so I had to talk to Jahmai. I take offense to that. I think words matter, and I take offense to that. I just let the record show.
I'm sorry. Let me try to correct what I'm trying to say.
I mean, please try to clean it up, but it's already you can't put the toothpaste back in the jar. It's already come out. So that was your subconscious speaking. Like, hey, he was the only one to talk to. Wow. That hurts.
No.
I mean,
Okay, well, you're one of my favorite people ever. So even if that came out wrong, I know it'll pass. I know it'll pass in a couple of minutes. But no, I think even like right now, Hustle Bustle in the office, we're never there at the same time. Yeah. But let's say we were, and we have been. You and I would like you would stop by my desk. I'd stop by your desk for like 10 minutes, get as much information out as we could. And then we'd have to move on because you'd have a meeting or I'd have a call or I had to go on set or something like that. So there was always stuff going on. But in this case, it was like crickets and we were working on the same show. And it just made basically, I mean, I would say that brought us closer, even though I think we would have been close. But if everyone was in the office, don't you think that would have changed things a little bit?
I mean, okay, so I'll let you clean it up, and I will accept that because, although we worked separately and it was like friendly, like we really didn't really know each other back then until we were working directly, and honestly, it did take our relationship up to another level. So we built a great friendship from that. So yes, I will agree that you were forced upon me, or vice versa. I was forced upon you, and this great friendship has blossomed from that. So it was one of the casualties, or not one of the casualties, but one of the bright spots from COVID was that. So I accept that.
Okay, so that was a Freudian slip, calling my friendship a casualty. Like, come on, like you're talking about subconscious right there.
Well, yeah, you know what? Maybe there's some untreated deep stuff that I have yet to handle. So I don't know why that came out.
I know. I bring it up because you said meet the fan, and I wanted to tell the people listening that we always used to quote my mom, or like I would say, "This is what Anna, my mom's name. This is what Anna would do."
Very wise woman.
Very wise woman. Yeah. So maybe you'll meet Anna, but we'll talk offline about meeting in Toronto. First, we got to go over all the drama that's happened to you at the ballpark. I feel like I had one more point to make, but I feel like I'm also totally going off topic here. I had one more point to make about something. Home Depot. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, Jahmai,
come back to
you. This was like a week ago, I think, but hilarious / wouldn't be hilarious if it actually happened. Take us behind the scenes of you doing an interview and almost getting whacked by the ball. Tell me what was.
Wow, that's right. That was in Tampa. I'd almost forgotten about that. If you didn't remind me, I mean, I could be concussed right now. I wouldn't be able to be here. One of the hazards of the job, certainly, but we were doing these, and we've done them. I guess really. We used to do them. We do them a lot in spring training, but hadn't really done that many during the regular season. It was like a special occasion where we would do an in-game interview with the player or coach. But we've been doing them a lot this year, and the Red Sox have been fantastic about that, giving us this unheralded access. We almost feel like Netflix was doing this special on the whole season by being able to have this access to the guys this year. But I was interviewing Tanner Houck in Tampa. He had just come off on an exceptional start. By the way, I mean, one of the best pitchers in the big leagues right now. He is a Cy Young candidate. I know it's early, 12 starts in, something like that. But this dude has taken another leap. He's taken another level in his career. And Alex Cora said it after his start on Friday night, that people should really start to take notice. And I know Red Sox fans and New Englanders, you guys have been paying attention. But the world needs to pay attention to this guy because he's a special person, and his game is starting to catch up to that and the potential. So he's incredible. But we were talking to him in the dugout after another one of his good starts, and just going through the whole song and dance about what was working, how are things going for you, what's allowing you to reach this level of excellence. And we were wrapping up the interview. I forget what the last question was. I always try to end with something funny or kind of self-deprecating about myself or whatever, just something, light and fluffy. Yeah. And so he answered it, and I was saying thanks. And then all of a sudden, because by the way, so this is the third base side of the Tropicana Field, Club Trop, as Uke likes to call it, because the DJ is going crazy and the speakers are hella loud in there. But it must have been a left-handed batter. So if a lefty's like this, and I'm over here to the left. So that means usually foul balls, you got to pay attention because the foul balls will fly in that direction. Usually. Yeah. So it had to be a lefty up. I can't recall the exact situation, but closing on the interview, all of a sudden you hear smack because the ball's coming. It's off the bat. And then I just see him because my back is turned. I see him like duck out of the way like that, one of those numbers. So I'm just reactionary because of my cat-like reflexes and my experience about getting pelted with baseballs. So I duck down and I'm just like full crouch, like a frog on my legs and just like bracing for impact, hoping that the ball doesn't hit me. And then everybody in the dugout, like all the guys are like, oh, like reacting, and I'm like, where'd it go? And it just happened to fly like over our heads, I guess. And Tanner's like 6'4", so
Right.
he's just a couple inches taller than I am. But the fact that he darted out of the way, and I mean, I've seen some screamers come in there. It's really a hazard of the job. And honestly, I probably shouldn't have my back turned, but I do anything for great content, so it is what it is. So we got the interview, and then I'm ducking down, and then like everybody's in stitches, and the guys are laughing, and Tanner's like holding his belly. He's laughing like that almost got you, whatever. And I'm just like, whew, relief that I didn't get smashed with the baseball. And you know, we pounded it. I said, thanks for looking out, man, because I was following your lead. He could have been joking for all I know, and I still would have reacted that way, but it was a very close call. One of my closest probably this season, and there's been quite a few, unfortunately. I don't know why I'm a heat-seeking missile to the baseball this year.
Okay, so that one was caught on camera. That's what we're talking about. I didn't know there'd been others. Have those been caught? Or like give me one more story of like a close.
Well, I mean, there's the infamous one, of course, where I actually got smacked with the ball off the bat of Rafael Devers. Yeah. Oh, how'd you not hear about this? This was last season. This was massive. I mean, I thought I had to go on the IL, actually. I was down for probably about 3.5, 4 weeks, but I still powered through and showed up to work every single day because I post. That's what we do.
What?
And this was in Cleveland late last year in Cleveland. And on at Progressive Field in Cleveland, we're on the first base side. So Devers is a lefty, so his back is to us, actually. And that whole thing I told you about, if it's a right-handed hitter, then you got to watch out on your right-hand side, or if it's a lefty, you kind of got to watch out from this direction. So if the person is facing you, you got to watch out for a foul ball potentially hitting you. But Devers, in a non-traditional way, because he's a non-traditional player, he does things that players can't do. He actually has his back turned. So traditionally, you're usually safe if you're looking at the batter and their back is turned to you. But Devers, because he can turn on anything, he just like turned completely and like made contact with the baseball in that direction to me at first base, and it came in so hot. I mean, we got things to quantify these things now. We can measure the speed in which a baseball leaves the bat. So StatCast said this was 109 miles per hour, 109.3 to be completely exact, off the bat, and maybe 50 feet between us. So you think it's really not losing much steam. This ball did bounce once, so maybe lost a few MPHs, but it came in so fast. All I can do was I saw him turn at me, the ball's coming, and I literally only had time to be like, and react. So I ducked down like that, and the ball caught me square in the ribs right here, like right above my pectoral muscle. And I mean, it knocked the wind out of me. So our director, Ben Johnston, and OB was on the call. Will Middlebrooks was there as well. And Will, he's always, he treats me like a little brother, even though I'm older than he is. He's like, oh, man, toughen up. You're okay. Like, whatever. And I'm like, dude, first off, I haven't even like said I'm okay. I could seriously be hurt, which I wasn't, but I was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, man, just dust it off, throw some dirt on it, whatever. And then Ben, our director, he was in the truck. He's like, give us a thumbs up, or like, tell us you're okay. So I give a thumbs up because it knocked the wind out of me. I literally could not breathe. So I give a thumbs up, and he's like, no, we need a verbal. He's telling me this in my ear. We wear these earpieces. So he's telling me I need a verbal. And I'm like, oh, I'm okay, guys. Thanks. And I come back up, pop up on camera, and they're showing me. And I'm literally hurt here. I'm really hurt. Like, I feel like crying. But because the cameras are rolling, I have to really be tough. So it was just one of those things where it's shocking. Like, you brace for impact, but you don't really know how much it's going to hurt until it actually hits you. So that got me. So then, like, I actually was okay. I was a little bit in shock, kind of, I guess, because I was like, that hurt, but also, like, I survived it, so I'm good, and I like it's hurting, but the adrenaline was rushing. Like, you feel so much adrenaline, and that began to wear off, and that's when I was like, oh, this is actually really hurting. So then one of our great producers back at NESN, supervising producer Denny Ayat, he calls the clubhouse. And I don't know how he got the number, by the way. I don't know how he got the number to the clubhouse at Progressive Field in Cleveland. But he calls the clubhouse. He gets on with the medical. He's like, you got to go check on our guy. So the trainers literally come out. They're like, we just got called from NESN saying, did you get hit or something? Because they were obviously working on players, people who are rehabbing back in the clubhouse, getting work during the game, because obviously pregame, the guys who are actually playing are getting their work. So that was their time. So one of the trainers comes out, a guy we call Dolo, Anthony Cerundolo, and he's checking on me. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got hit with a baseball. I think I'm good." He's like, "No, they say we gotta check you out." So in the middle of the game, it's like the 6th inning, I go in the back. He checks me out, and then I take off my shirt and everything. Like I'm in my suit. I have to deep throw from the top up. He's like, "Take it all off." So I'm taking off my jacket, my suit. I'm in there half naked in the Red Sox clubhouse, and like the PR staff is back there for some reason during the game. I don't know. So like the trainers are back there, the clubhouse manager. They're all looking at me like, "Dude, what the hell is going on right now?" I'm like, "Oh, I got pelted by a ball or whatever." So he's checking me out, and immediately, like, it was already starting to like have some centralized bruising, like it was bruising already. He's like, so he's touching it, and I'm like, "Oh, that hurts, man! Like, stop!" So he's poking and prodding. He's like, "Oh, it's definitely a contusion or whatever." He's working around it, and he gives me like this patch. He's like, "Just wear this. This will kind of subdue some of the swelling, but it's gonna hurt. I don't know if it's broken. Like, we don't have an X-ray machine, but we'll take it day by day." So I get patched up, go back out there, all good. Wake up. So then the game's over, and I know this is a very long story. Long story short, but game's over. We go back to the hotel, and we're traveling to New York after that because this was a getaway day. This is a getaway night. Traveling to New York. So I'm like, now I'm really starting to feel like I'm in pain. Like I can't breathe that great. It's hurting. It's tough. So I get back to the hotel. Like I had an ice pack and everything. Get back to the hotel. Go to sleep that night. I could not sleep because my rib was hurting so bad. It felt like I was in a heavyweight fight. Like Tyson punched me. And the worst part about it, like I go up to Devers afterwards, who hit me, and I'm like, "Hey man, now I know what it's like. You know what I mean? To be Bean. Like this is I'm one of the guys now." And he was like, "No. Like you like now you see." He was like, "Now you see." He had no sympathy for me whatsoever. So get to New York. We're playing the Yankees the next day, and now I'm in real pain. Like I wake up in the morning hurt. So now, like they're checking in with me. Our old boss, Howard Zolkowicz, is like, "How you doing?" I'm like, I'm actually hurting pretty bad. I probably should get this checked out." So then he has connections in New York, and he sets it up with the Yankees staff that I'm going to go see their doctor, their team doctor.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So it's just like this whole big thing. I don't know if I've ever even told this story in this much great depth, but next day we go to the Yankees, and I'm still like, I got a job to do. Like I'm on the job, like I'm working, I'm getting pregame stuff and like trying to, do my thing, but also in pain at the same time. So the game's getting ready to start. Is like, what time is good for you? I'm like, let's do it like the second inning, because now the Yankees, they've got their injured players getting seen by the doctor using the X-ray machine, whatever. And one of the guys who was on the IL was Aaron Judge at the time. So I'm now they've got me, and I'm back in the halls of Yankee Stadium. I go there, knock on the door, and they're like, "Oh, we were waiting for you. We're expecting you." It's the Yankees team doctor, Dr. Troth, I think is his name. Okay. And very nice guy. So it's like I'm at the doctor's office, like taking me through the whole nine, checking my vitals, all that stuff, checks my ribs. He's like, "Oh, let me see." So he does the whole deal, touching it, seeing everything. And I'm like, "Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts." He's like, "Okay, well, we can't see if it's broken or anything, but you're not having trouble breathing that much aside from the centralized pain." I'm like, "No." He's like, "Is it like, how's your breathing?" I'm like, "It seems okay. It's just like any deep breath would hurt a little bit." He's like, "All right, so no blood's coming up, nothing like that." Because he's like, "You could have a punctured lung." Like that was the concern. Like if you got a broken rib or something and go into your lungs or something. So then I see him. I go into the X-ray machine. He says, "You got to wait. We got somebody getting X-rayed." So I'm sitting in the hallway having a conversation with him or whatever. So I'm like, "Oh, somebody getting X-rayed. I wonder who this could be." And he's trying to be like really discreet. Him, the athletic trainer is there as well. And then one of the X-ray technicians. So I'm sitting there having conversations with him. And then all of a sudden the door opens and it's Aaron Judge. And he's like 6'8", right? So his like head is like almost hitting the door. So Aaron Judge comes out, and I've like, I've gotten to know him a little bit over the years, but not really like that. But I did a game when I did a freelance game one time, a national TV game. I got a chance to interview him. So, that's one time we had a real like conversation and got, some background on each other. So then he sees me, he comes out, he's like, "Oh, what's up, man?" I'm like, "What's going on, Aaron? How you doing?" He's like, "I heard you got smoked." And I'm like, "Man, dude, news travels fast." He's like, "Who got you?" I'm like, "Devers, man." He's like, "Oh, you got to watch out for that," because everybody knows he's got exceptional bat speed, elite bat speed. So he's like, "You got to watch out for that." So I'm like, geez, the whole league knows that I got smoked by a foul ball. And it just reminded me that, these games are on in clubhouses around the league. So they see a lot of people who are on air. But he was like, "Oh, you got to stay, you got to be aware of that sting." And I was like, "How are you doing?" Because he had just injured his foot by running into the wall at Dodger Stadium. They had just gone over there, so he like broke his toe or something. But I was like, this is definitely going to go in my autobiography one day, just like down at the Yankee Stadium, and I run into Aaron
Yeah.
Judge, and he knew what happened. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I get the X-ray. They determined that I didn't have a broken rib, but they couldn't really tell because you can't really tell. It could be like microfractures, the doctor says, but he's like prescribed me some Advil, whatever, and he sent me on my way, but it hurt for like another 4 weeks after that. But the
Like
moral of the
breathing,
story, I
like
guess, was
breathing in or just or moving,
yeah,
like everything
yeah,
just
breathing
up.
in, movement. So breathing in was like a week and a half, like deep breaths. Movement definitely lasted probably like 3.5 weeks, and then like sensitive to touch, it was like a month until that felt good. So like having my kids jump on me and stuff was like, oh, not great. But
Yeah.
the big highlight of that story is Devers. This elite player, potentially, he'll go into the Red Sox Hall of Fame one day if he keeps on this track. Who knows what the rest of his career could be? And then I got Aaron Judge, who will probably be a Hall of Famer as well, who is telling me this story about how he heard that I got smoked by Devers. So one of the all-time greats of my
Cool.
2023 season. So that was a highlight, but it took some physical pain, some blood, sweat, and tears for sure.
Listen, I would say based on that story, you deserve an Emmy. That was a good story. That story deserves an Emmy. That's sideline reporting right there.
Yeah, I mean, we rode that one probably the rest of the year, and it even came up again this season. Obi brought it up, and he likes to tell that story more than me sometimes, which is funny. But it's an all timer, and we'll see the Yankees in a couple weeks. So I'll be sure and tell Aaron that I'm all healed up now.
Well, because your story was so beautiful and lengthy, I have 6 minutes to tell mine, which is nice. So I'll just no big deal. No big deal.
I mean, I'm sorry. I tried to make a long story short, but honestly, the thing you'll know about my storytelling, no detail goes unheard, and it's really to try and equate this to the job that we do. This is my producer, Amy Johnson. She's always on my case about being more concise with my reporting. Sometimes it gets a little lengthy, but it's something that I try to do. But this is why, like, in my Instagram bio, it's like future documentary filmmaker, because I love to tell long form stories. It's what I enjoy, and that would probably be a job that I do outside of this one. I know that's another topic we're hoping to get to.
Yeah, we're not getting to any more topics. We have like 6 minutes left. No, but I love it. I'm obviously just chirping you, but there's nothing worse than sitting across from someone or talking to someone that gives you 1 word or 2 word answers. Like, I would way rather someone go and give me good details, as long as it's entertaining. Then
right, I took you inside the story. You feel a part of it now, right?
Yeah.
It was very vivid, so yeah. I'm happy to do it.
No. My story of getting injured isn't even that good. So like, I'm glad I didn't ever get injured. I just had like, I was going to make fun of myself.
So no pucks have hit you in the body before? No pucks have hit you in the body?
No. So the one thing that happened, and I'm making fun of myself here. Like it's like self-deprecating for sure. I've learned, over the course of like my career, where going, how to dress for the rink. But sometimes when you have to be on air after morning skate, sometimes I'm in heels. Like I'll put on heels or whatever. But this is like 10 years ago when I was younger, and I was still like, now I have a uniform, a practice uniform. It's like running shoes, vest, Lulu sweater, like just good stuff for the rink. Like you want to be warm, you want to have closed toe shoes, obviously. I don't know why I had heels on that day, but whatever. I was covering morning skate years ago, and a puck left the rink, got deflected.
For that.
You can throw it in there.
No, I'm not going to say it.
You sure?
Yeah. We'll save it for offline. Right. The extra time after hours.
Yeah. Extra time. No, so this is like, again, self-deprecating. So this puck, guys were shooting at the glass. I'm always standing behind the glass, obviously. It was where the netting was, and it deflects off the tip and kind of, if you can picture it, hits it and then it rolls. It kind of like flickers and it drops right down on my toe. And nothing happened. Ouch. But I was like, ow. Like my toe was bruised. It was black, and it was just a deflected puck. So whatever it's condensed rubber, whatever it's made out of. And I was like hopping on one foot, what it made me realize, and like maybe you can, in the like 3 minutes we have left, maybe you can talk about this. But these hockey players get blasted, like blocking shots to the face. Steven Stamkos, who plays for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and a lot of players have done this, but for some reason this one sticks out to me. I think he blocked a shot with his face, not on purpose, or got hit. It could have even been a deflected puck, but in a playoff series, hit his nose, like broke it bad, talking blood all over the place. Like we're talking about, I don't know what, 80 miles an hour, maybe it was 100, but a slap shot to the face. And he went off the ice and he came back. I think this was first period. He came back third period with obviously gauze and everything, and then a cage so he couldn't get hit again. But and like he just went, and by the way, he kept playing. And these guys will do that. They get it in the ribs. They get it in the, it's a Charlie horse. They get it in the thighs, in the back. And we have no idea. I mean, unless you played, which obviously a lot of people watching probably have played. But that is painful. And I joke about myself, like a stupid deflected puck that hit my toe, and I was crying about it for like 2 weeks. So, you know what I mean?
Hey, the way I put it is pain, okay? I mean, if it hurts, it hurts. So I'm not going to make fun of you from having that little measly puck deflect and smash your toe. But I always this was like a big thing around the team at this time, because everybody had heard what happened. Obviously, we put it on TV or whatever. So coaches were coming up to me saying what happened and making fun of me and having a good time for about a week. But I was, like I said, I tried to, get some sympathy out of Rafi, and I was like, look, man, this hurt. Like, it was triple digits off the bat, man, from like 50 feet away. The mound is 60 feet, 6 inches. So you cut down a little bit of that. And I was like, plus, when you get beamed by a baseball, it's like 95, 98, maybe 99, maybe, but it's probably more so low 90s. It's not triple digits. So I was like, you got to give me a break here. I was like, listen, I got the baseball. So he was supposed to sign it for me, so I have a momentum, but it never happened. And now I think about it, I still have the baseball somewhere around here, but maybe I'll get him to complete that for me finally.
You got to get him to sign it.
Exactly. I'm like, this is great. This is great, because this is one of those things that I hold on to forever. But I was like, I completely understand.
You got to get Aaron Judge to sign your X-ray too.
Oh yeah, I do have the X-ray somewhere. It's on a disc or whatever. I even got, matter of fact, the good doctor at the Yankees, he gave me his phone number. She was like, call me if anything goes red. Dr. Dave Trofa. I got it right here. So he's like, call me if anything goes wrong. So anytime I'm in New York, I got him on speed dial. Maybe send me an IV to the hotel room if I go too hard. We'll see.
Yeah. There you go. So wait, we got about a minute left. Wrap up. So you're gonna try to get Devers to sign the ball?
Yeah, I got to get it to him finally. We got to complete that, because it's been like a year plus in the making. There's even some Red Sox fans, good guys. These dudes always sit on the first base side at the end of the edge where you come into the gate, and they made me T-shirts. I got to find it for you. Yeah, it says so. It's like a radio station, and it says something like the radio dial is 109.3. So it says JWEB or something like that, and it says 109.3, and it is a bullseye right in my ribs where I got hit. So they made me 2 shirts.
I love that.
I gave one to TC, and I have the other one hanging around here somewhere. But as I just explained, I just moved, so I gotta find all my crap. But yeah, it was a good time, and even now I go to ballparks and the fans come up and like, hey, watch out for those balls, man. And I'm like, yeah, I try. I don't do it on purpose. Yeah. I mean,
no. You're not scrolling through your phone. You're doing work. And
legit. I mean, from the distance where I sit, you legitimately have to pay attention to every single pitch. So it's very dangerous. And there've been reporters who have gotten crushed with baseballs hit. I saw a dude in Chicago last year who Justin Turner smacked a foul ball, and I think he broke his nose because he was bleeding immediately. Ooh. And he it was a photographer for one of the still stations, and he wanted to keep shooting. And I'm like, dude, you got to go get checked out, man. This was like weeks after my situation. Taught me a lesson to always be aware, because you can really it's really a dangerous part of the job, that is really not talked about enough. But we certainly talked about it on this episode of Extra Time plenty.
We sure did. And look at that. We didn't get to a bunch of topics, but I like that. I like the details of the story. Next week's show, we got lots more to come. I don't know if Adam's going to be with us. If I'm not going to be there, are you going to be there? We're going to figure that out. But as always, a pleasure catching up. Things to remember as we say goodbye. Check out Facebook Marketplace for your patio furniture. And we're going to put out a poll. Use couch. Yes or yay or nay. Okay?
Yes, use couch or use mattress. I'm team use couch. Just let the record show.
I'm team not use couch. Not
your
use
team
couch.
use mattress. We'll talk.
Team use not mattress. No. Team nothing. None of
but
those.
I mean,
you enjoy
the poll. Yeah, I certainly will. The poll. You enjoy your apple, but the poll is it's either or. You got to pick one. That's the point. Like,
we got to wrap. We got to
pick
one. Okay. We'll see you guys next week.